What's up, guys? Tony the GM with another quarterback video. Day after the Indiana-Oregon game. I take a look at every play a quarterback does. The NFL in the past 20-something years, going back to 2000, has drafted 320 quarterbacks. I say about 30 of them made it. We're going to look at film, so pay attention. We're going to look at film of Mendoza today. Here's my thing. The NFL has 6 or 7 very high-end situations for a quarterback to be drafted into. A couple of them were created after the quarterback was drafted, though. San Francisco, the Rams. I definitely like what Johnson's doing up in Chicago. Kansas City has a great place for a quarterback with a coach-quarterback combo. I mean, all the fans are in what have you done for me lately? Reed, Mahomes is definitely the place to be. Going back, I mean, Belichick had Brady all those years. It was a great place for each other. Kellen Moore in New Orleans is going to build something nice. I could see it already. Peyton is another genius on Denver. Now, you could add more in the comments. If you support a quarterback and give him great coaching, he will perform better than any quarterback that doesn't have the same support and coaching. That's as common sense as you could get. Now, Mendoza has great coaching right now. Great team, great offensive line, great receivers. This is in college. His team is just better than everybody else. It has a lot to do with the coaching, the preparedness. I saw Signetti, write down notes in a notepad last night on a particular play from Dante Moore. Is he saving that for the future? I mean, he is prepared, confident. He's a great coach. Now, let's look at some film from last night, and I'll tell you why I like Mendoza, but I give him a mid to late first round pick. Everybody is like, every time I talk about a quarterback, it's like you can't be right. Meanwhile, in the past 5 years, 57 quarterbacks were taken. I only would have drafted 9. You know how much money I would have saved the NFL? I'm being humble because I actually show you my work. This is what fans do. I mean, they listen to the announcers last night and say, oh, look, they say that Mendoza does this great. That's not where you get your information. I keep on repeating the same things. If you look at box scores, or you look at highlight films, or you listen to the experts who are paid to entertain you, you're never gonna find a quarterback. You gotta see good breakdowns of film. You gotta look at the film and see what they're doing. You gotta take into consideration their supporting cast. Now let's start looking at the film, guys. One. That's a contested catch, guys. Okay? This is definitely a contested catch. He threw it up for his receiver. Number 2, protected pocket, out pocket. 2 plays, both outside the numbers. Number 3, outside the numbers. The same exact play he scored a touchdown with. about 12 times this year. Protected pocket. There's no film available to watch on this early in the morning. Okay, so this is only highlights. A run and play. Now, if you look at the play, okay, he's not a big time athlete. He's not. The defender, a pro defender might take him out earlier on the play. Right there, okay, might take him out earlier on a play. So what do we see? Look, outside the numbers, again, that is a contested catch. He's being helped by his receivers. Roll out right, outside the numbers again, okay? Everything protected so far. This, he throws it up. The timing was good. That's a catch, guys. That's a catch. You need to be looking at Decker. Again, this is the same exact thing over and over people fall for. As I said, I like Mendoza, but if his first read breaks down, his first timing pattern breaks down, he has issues. There's nothing here. Again, that was outside. Okay, clean pocket. Clean pocket, clean pocket. Okay, everything. Outside the numbers. He doesn't have the arm strength, high-end arm strength. He doesn't. Okay? See, that's broken up in the play. But what am I showing you? He's not attacking the middle of the field. Everything's the same. Now, that being said, I like Mendoza, but he is not, if he goes to the wrong situation, he's not going to succeed. Okay? Now, I'm a Jet fan. If you want to draft Mendoza at 2, if he's there, you're going to be drafting another quarterback and hiring another coach in 2 years. I would picture your knowledgeable Jet fans who have been a while would go back to the Jets' support of Mark Sanchez, how great the team was, and how bad the quarterback is. You want to build a team like the Jets had and add Mendoza to it, and you have a team capable of winning a Super Bowl. Now the problem is that it's not going to happen on the Jets, guys. It's not. If you're the Jets and you have all these picks and you build a great team, a great supporting cast, and then you find a Mendoza type a year, 2 years down the road, that player has a chance to compete in the NFL. If you put Mendoza on the Jets now, it's going to be a disaster, guys. If you put him on the Titans of last year, it's going to be a disaster. It is. If you put him on San Francisco, then, okay, you have a legitimate shot of getting a quarterback in the 10 to 15 range, of the NFL. I can't make it more clear than that. Now let's keep on going. Stare, wide open. Nothing draftable, guys. Okay? This is not high-end football play. If you're drafting anybody on this tape, again, only thing over the middle, wide open, stationary, non-moving player. Roll out right, outside the numbers. This is a product of Signetti, guys. First in the middle of the field, he does that quite a few times in the red zone. Look at the protection. Now, here's the thing. He doesn't move in the pocket. He doesn't. He doesn't move in the pocket. If the first play breaks down, he had a few last night that didn't look good. I know what I see, guys. You're following the hype. As a Jet fan, okay, if I was running the Jets, I could not touch Fernando Mendoza. And if I'm Fernando Mendoza, I don't want to go to. I wish Mendoza the best. I don't want him to go to a situation where he most likely will fail. He has question marks in his game, guys. If you didn't realize that everything was outside the numbers and it was a protected pocket, it was wide open, it was timing routes that he's good at. If you take that first play away, which the NFL will on a much higher percentage of times, you're going to struggle. Now, I look in depth and I look at totally different things than the NFL, than evaluators look at. I take into fact that Mendoza had three great contested catches made by his receivers last night. Now, I want you to give, when you're analyzing other players, other quarterbacks, you need to see, you need to think out of the box and say, how would Sawyer Robertson do on Indiana? How would Drew Allard do on Indiana? How would Mendoza do on Penn State? If you're not doing this, you're never going to find a quarterback. Now, as I said, I put a lot of work into them. I'm showing you, I've made numerous videos of complete games, looking at there's different levels of evaluating a quarterback, guys. I'm only doing half an evaluation and I'm very accurate. Okay, I can't sit down and talk to the quarterback. I can't, I'm not an offensive genius calling plays and breaking down plays or defense, because I never took the time to learn it, okay? What I do know is, what does a quarterback do? He throws the ball, he runs an offense. I'm only giving you half an evaluation, guys. And if they don't pass my half, I'm not even going to the second level. Would I have added one or two picks if I sat down and talked to the player? Maybe. You know, Mendoza's. There's a lot of reasons why I like him as a first round, because I don't think he had high level coaching at a younger age. That's a big plus to me, because now he has some very nice coaching, and he jumped from Cal to Indiana. Some of the things that are missing, I don't see Sawyer Robertson's, following progressions and making instant decisions. I don't. I don't see Drew Allard's top end plays with him. I just don't. But, is there room for growth? Can he be? Yeah. I mean, I really think that he could be a much better Mike White, who is an NFL quarterback, if he had Mendoza's skill set. Mike White was a statue who could barely make 40 yards down the field. At least Mendoza, has a low-end NFL arm, but, he's a better athlete overall. Take care, guys.